He did this last time he was in Japan. Every 5 minutes. Guys, I'm in Japan, by the way. Like,
wrong.
And it was basically
Well, I mean, wrong with that.
after-
Wrong with that. Yeah.
Amazon workers need to stop complaining. Box my package that I've just ordered and get it to me tomorrow, okay? Why are we comparing massive big tech conglomerates that have been operating for like a decade? And now you're just repeating it. I understand you can't think for yourself, but that's okay.
How am I catching strays?
Well, basically, Hasan, we're kind of done talking about me being a snake, so I think it's time we talk about you being a snake. Take it away, X.
Okay. Well, I wanted to talk to Felix yesterday, but I had to go get my ears cleaned.
Oh yeah, are you okay? What's going on?
I was deaf for like 24 hours, but that's different. I'm in Japan right now, and it's two.
Wait, hang on a minute. Is Hasan in Japan? There's no way. I had no fucking idea. He did this last time he was in Japan. Every 5 minutes. Guys, I'm in Japan, by the way. Like, what the fuck is... Well, first of all, he's there again, which is fine. He's got, like, fucking hella cash, so good luck to him. You know, fair play, go and have a nice time. But it's the fact he just keeps referencing it. It's so funny.
Too early to go outside before everybody tells me fucking, go outside and touch grass. I will be doing that later in my IRL portion. But yeah, XQC, you said I was dog whistling. I don't even know how I would be dog whistling. There's some questions I have for you about what you said yesterday.
Yeah, go ahead.
But we can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about.
Oh no, ask away, Brett.
All right, what's going on?
Well, ask away. You said you asked a question. Ask away.
Oh, it's tense. It's
you
tense.
said I was dog whistling. I don't even know exactly what you said I was dog whistling on, but I would like to understand what you were talking about with that.
Guy sounds like he is really fun at party.
It's just like it's kind of like what Poki did. Which he kind of explained it, but it's like
I can't remember what Hasan said. I watched Hasan. He was being cringe with his virtue signal, like, oh yeah, state gambling's bad, da 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 da. But I thought he was like, well, he at least pretended to be excited about XQC's deal. Well, how genuine it was, I don't know. But I didn't think it was as bad as Pokimane, was it?
Implicating and making the conclusions that one thing is linked to the other, right? As you go to dialogue, and like it's like the whole gambit angle. Oh, people understand that if I say it, it fulfills their thoughts about the gambling angle without debunking it or talking about it or having to fucking talk about it at all. It's just the people that know about it know, and you're just kind of fulfilling that, and you kind of know what you're doing. So it's like it is what it is. You get it?
Do you know what? Okay, this is like a total tangent. I need to like take a vacation somewhere, man. I need to just book a flight and fuck off for a week. I've realized because I've got like I'm going on holiday with my kids like in a couple of months, and then I might go to TwitchCon. I'm not 100% on that, but I feel like I just need to go somewhere by myself and just disappear for a week, basically. No, I'm not really like a big beach guy. I prefer like a city break or something. I prefer just like knocking about a city, you know?
I don't know if that would be dog whistling. I think you're just saying that like I'm bringing up gambling when it's irrelevant to kick. Is that what you're trying to say? Because I'm explicitly like dog whistling would be, I don't know, like hiding.
Okay, well listen, I don't want to go too far. I'd probably go somewhere in Europe because I don't want to have like a fucking 10-hour flight somewhere. But also this, I was thinking about going to Thailand, okay? Right? Because it's cheap over there. No other reason. No other reason. It's just cheap over there. I'm not going to be a sexpat. I just want to have a little look around, you know? I'm not going to do any weird shit, all right? Bangkok. I'm not going to be doing any banging of the cock, all right? It's not like that. I just want to... Nah, I don't know. Probably somewhere in Europe, I expect. Oh, hey, Lycan, how's it going?
My genuine perspective on a certain thing, which is that like gambling is bad, right? Or unregulated, especially unregulated crypto gambling is bad.
I think the wrong term.
Yeah, I think
Go
so
to
too.
Vietnam.
What?
I think you used the wrong word because that wouldn't be dog whistling.
Maybe he was trying to say you were trying to.
Shit, did I misspeak?
Oh, wait, hang on a sec. Isn't there a place where you can go and blow up a cow with a rocket launcher? Where the fuck can you do that? I'm going there. I'm going to go blow up farm animals with weapons. That's what I want to do.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just the word. I don't know what word he was trying to. Yeah, maybe. But I don't think it's dog whistle. Dog whistle is kind of.
I don't even know what it would be. I don't even know what I would be pandering
only a certain
about.
Group of people will understand.
Okay.
So, do you want to maybe clarify what you were trying to say?
Yeah, I mean,
Virtue signaling?
Yes, maybe that one.
Not really.
I think
Virtue signaling.
Oh,
High
not
roading?
That one?
Please maybe high roading?
I'll
Not this turning into a vocab lesson.
I'll clarify. I feel like this whole like link to Gamba thing. I think it's like we talked about like a million times, and you guys keep like it's almost like you kind of like validate the argument without really approaching it or talking about it, right?
Oh wait, hang on. It probably isn't like enough to have a whole thing about it. But didn't Dr. Disrespects talk some shit on Hasan? Has anyone got a link to that? I'll quickly watch it.
And it's like everybody just takes it for what it is, and you just kind of I don't know. And then you talk about it. I mean, in what we did today, where you just talk about it, and it's like I don't know. You never really actually talk about the gambling angle of it. Yeah, and
what do you mean by the gamble angle? Like, are you talking about Stake being the like main party for Kick? Like, Kick is owned by Stake. The reason why Kick was created was because Stake. Like, here's what I believe. Okay. And I've been very open about this. I believe that Stake, the unregulated crypto gambling website, created Kick as an alternative platform so that they could have a like basic marketing arm. You know what I mean? That they could still
1000% agree. I think they saw
yeah,
the massive
I
return
genuinely believe that. I don't think they got in the
I mean, I think that the reason it's blown up is because they want somewhere where they can promote Stake, certainly, but I'm pretty sure it's through the Gamba shit on Kick. I don't think that they're going to be looking to super hardcore market to someone sat there watching a fucking hot tub streamer, okay? Someone watching quasi pornography on Kick, okay? That's their fucking vice, okay? It's some slut wearing a bikini dancing around and prancing about writing fucking subscribers' names on her ass, okay? I don't think that it's quite the same as someone that is going there to watch someone run slots for 8 hours and lose $100,000. They're probably primed to go to Stake, but I think other types of viewers, it's not necessarily an easy pipeline or funnel that they're looking to put in place.
The game.
And they're like, oh, this is valuable real estate for us to have for marketing purposes.
Yeah, I don't think they built it because they genuinely were like, I care a lot about the streaming space and I want to, get involved in the streaming space. I'm a big fan of streamers. I think their goal very openly is to funnel traffic into Stake.
Maybe not so directly, and I think that's probably the defense.
I just don't think this is
so. No. I mean,
and also, can we also bear in mind as well? Can we also bear in mind too? Unless there is like explicit adverts or plastered all over the website, which I need to say one way or another. I got ad block on my computer, so I never fucking see that shit, right? I don't know if they even run ads or whatever. This just seems like complete bullshit to me, where it's like they're arguing it in a totality when I think it's specifically gambling streams where they're going to be trying to funnel people in, which makes sense. But then obviously Twitch have got that too. It's just that obviously it's other gambling sites that Twitch don't own. So maybe you could argue there's a difference there, sure. But the point is, the mechanic, I do not think is broadly across the entirety of Kick. I think that people are stating this so concretely. Very openly, that's the main goal. Wouldn't every streamer just stream to Stake then? Or at least just the major ones? Well, yeah, exactly. Like, you would have thought there'd be a lot more focus on getting sponsorships and deals across the board for funneling stuff into Stake. But, Rothstein, is it Rothstein? Is that his name? He certainly is someone that has been taken on to funnel people into Stake. Sure, I'd agree. That's a fair take. But the entirety of the site, I don't know, man. That seems like a cope take just to be able to criticize Kick rather than actually look at the reality of what's going on.
I don't have to use any defense because you have the burden of proof is on you, right?
And sorry, one more thing I wanted to say as well is all of us, right? We know the fucking intricacies of this because we're interested in this, okay? Right? I have no ad blockers, and the only Stake ads I've seen are sponsored Gamba streams in the slot section. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking is going on, right? But other viewers, if you're just watching a Kick stream, are not necessarily going to know or think of that dynamic if it's not being advertised to them. So there's people out there who probably don't even fucking realize the links and are just watching Kick because their favorite streamer is on there. Yeah,
you have to elaborate on what kind of proof you have that that's what they want. Right?
Just general business deduction.
Sure, go ahead. Continue.
This is still technically speculation, obviously. So you're right to say that, but when I look at Stake and I see the top category being like predominantly owned by slots gamblers who are gambling on Stake, when I see that the website was created by the owners of Stake, when I see that like some of the largest content creators outside of like Aiden and yourself and Bruce that they've recently picked up are oftentimes like the most consistently sizable audiences are often going to be roulette, like gambling players, right? So that's one reason. That's not the main reason. The main reason still obviously is that it's owned by Stake, by the owners of Stake. It was created with consultation from Trainwrecks, who was major.
People need to stop.
He was a major slots player on Twitch.
Wrong.
And it was basically
wrong with that. Wrong with that. Yeah.
The thing is, I don't understand why people don't just be more specific with the criticism. Like, for example, if you look at Kick now, if someone is watching this stream because they like this fella playing chess.
Looks better.
Wait, can I turn the ad block off? There's no ads anyway, but it says there.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
I'm getting a little bit too.
Explain to me how I get to Stake from here.
Pretty chill. Yeah, let's do one more. I'm not happy with that. I got to get 60 before we start covering the games again.
Where do I get to Stake from here? Explain.
The one that I got wrong at 45 is just so bad.
So I like this guy. Sure. I'm watching him play chess. Okay. Where do I get to Stake from here if I'm here to watch this guy? Right? Now, sure, you could argue you click there and you watch. But my point is, they're here to watch this guy because they like watching him play chess. Okay? Now, sure, I agree completely 100% if you're watching this guy. I bet you I scroll down and yeah, there we go. Stake straight away. Boom, we're in. Yes, 100% agree that if you're watching this guy's been brought on to funnel people to Stake. Totally fine argument. Totally robust. Agree with that, okay? No problem at all making that point. But I just don't think that you can put that across to the broadness of the entirety of the site, right? Because I don't think the people that are watching this fella play chess are there thinking, oh, I want to start gambling now. And especially when you don't have like a direct link from this guy's stream to, the, how much of the front page content is gambling streamers? Why are we acting like people are using the front page to access the content that they watch on streaming sites? That is total fucking cope, okay? You go and watch the streamer that you like, and then you look for and find similar types of content, okay? This idea that you're going to go to the front page to find the content you want to watch. You might look at a category, but again, you got the same thing. If you're going and looking at hot tubs, I don't think that you're necessarily naturally going to be like, oh, let's go look at gambling stuff, right? Like, I'm not saying that Stake haven't got a vested interest in getting people across, but people are arguing it too broadly, and I think that it needs to be more focused to say people like Rothstein are there to drive people to Stake, which is totally fair. Anyway.
Train, listen, I love Train, okay? No disrespect to Train. Train's involvement is extremely minimal, okay? And
well, I think at this point,
Train likes
Train. Creation,
nope, that's my take
Train was
anyway.
like its main spokesperson. I think that's hard to refute.
That's irrelevant. Whoever actually is a spokesperson, he wasn't appointed as, and in terms of the whole site as a whole and how big he is, he's eclipsed in both equity, influence, size, just because his clips go on LSF.
He has equity.
Just because his clips go on LSF about it doesn't mean he owns the website. I think you guys are overplaying his involvement by a long shot because it makes sense to the argument.
I think Hasan was just referring to his early involvement, which was quite.
And I was talking about his consultation. I don't even think he's I didn't say he's a co-owner. I didn't even know he had equity until you just said it. I just said I'm saying Train's consultation and development of the platform.
Apparently his Twitch bio says co-owner of Kick, so.
Yeah. So that means by default that's what it means.
And Trainwreck has tweeted about how he's the third largest owner of Kick. I promise we will never touch your sub revenue.
Okay. And do you know what other?
Wait, what's the? So well, the thing is, all I'm saying is, but they're not making that argument even. They're not even making that argument. They're saying the totality of Kick is about pushing people towards Stake, and I just don't think that's a fair argument. This is my big problem with it. I think there are arguments and criticisms you can make which are totally valid, okay? But the problem is, if you make those more specific arguments, you're not able to just broadly criticize XQC and other people for taking deals because Kick bad,
The size of the comparison, third could mean anything, and you know that, right?
Okay, we're getting lost in the semantics. We're getting lost in the semantics of the conversation.
Well, no, that's extremely important.
We're getting lost in the semantics of the conversation. I didn't even know that Train was, again, like a part owner, let alone the third owner, right? I don't care about the size. Even as a consultant hiring Train, specifically especially after crypto gambling was banned on Twitch, makes it seem like the timing is relatively odd. It's a little suspicious to launch this initiative so publicly immediately after crypto gambling was eviscerated on Twitch. It seemed like they were looking for a new avenue where they could just continue live streaming and, you know, get an ROI that way by utilizing like a live streaming platform, whether it's their own or whether it's you know, another big.
Hang on a sec. I thought it was just unregulated sites in the US. Although, does that just? I mean, you know, maybe they're using it as shorthand, but it is. If you're regulated in the US, you can be on Twitch, right?
Website that they could be streaming easily on, so that they could keep driving traffic to Stake. This is my speculation, given the fact that it's mostly owned by Stake.
No. We looked into that. From what I can figure out, and obviously there's still a developing story, and I'll take the L if I have to. But I think it's been reported that Greece has banned Stake. I think what's actually happened is some sort of Greek entity has blocked has got a specific kick stream that they've put on their list of like being you know, bad gambling shit, and one ISP accidentally blocked the entirety of Kick rather than just that one stream. So it's one of those situations where there's like the truth of it, but obviously it doesn't make for a juicy, you know. The headline would be, if it was, from what I can tell at the moment, seems to be the truth. The headline would be, one Greek ISP accidentally bans entire website rather than just one link. That isn't a very good headline, is it? But if your headline is, Greece bans Kick, it sounds a lot fucking better and gets people to click on it, doesn't it?
And live streaming is not necessarily a profitable venture to get into. It's a loss leader for Amazon, and Amazon is a fucking major company, right? Their goal is to basically capture the entire market and then start figuring out, once they have monopolized the live streaming space, start figuring out how to fill the inventory and start making it more profitable. This is Amazon's goal.
Wait, that's not true at all. Amazon's goal, they bought Twitch because of the technology that Twitch have got. Wait, what? What did he just say? Did I miss something?
Separate goal for Amazon. Live streaming is not necessarily a profitable venture to get into. It's a loss leader for Amazon, and Amazon is a fucking major company, right? Their goal is...
No, it's not. It's not a loss. That's not what loss leader means. Loss leader is something that you sell, that you make a loss on, but you hope people buy other products alongside it so that you turn a profit from that sale. Twitch is not a loss leader. Amazon bought Twitch because they could because of the technology that Twitch used, and they now sell that as a product separately. And now that they've acquired Twitch and got the technology, okay, they're trying to make Twitch profitable, and they're trying to do that by cutting off expensive content. Like Twitch, this is the thing people don't understand, right? This is the thing people don't understand. Twitch, Twitch losing XQC is like bad, okay? I'm not saying it's good. I'm not coping about this, okay? It's not a good thing. It is bad. I don't even know if this is the right strategy or anything, but from Twitch's perspective, right, they're trying to move away from having to give out juicy contracts to people, okay? And they're focusing on increasing the amount of ads that run on their platform. And then obviously, the recent thing they walked back on about the burnt-in ads and stuff, they're clearly trying to put themselves in a position where they're between streamers and sponsors to be like the middleman to negotiate those contracts rather than agencies. That's like their long-term goal, I believe, right? So, you know, Twitch, although it is bad, I've got their own vision about what they're trying to do. Whether that will succeed, whether that will fail, whether they'll become profitable, whether eventually Amazon will cut Twitch off because it costs too much money to run and then something else happens, who fucking knows? Okay? Who fucking knows? But yeah, I just think Hasan is kind of a bit retarded on this point.
To basically capture the entire market and then start figuring out, once they have monopolized the live streaming space, start figuring out how to fill the inventory and start making it more profitable. This is Amazon's goal. A separate goal also is to beef up their IVS structure, which is when they go to...
Okay, I pause Andy. I'll take the L on that. I did pause Andy. He's explaining that bit. I'll take the L. Pause Andy.
Websites like Kick, or when they go to Stake, and Stake says, hey, we want a white label live streaming website, and Amazon sells them that product, which I believe Twitch gets, I don't know the back end of that, but I believe Twitch might even get a percentage of that as well. So
wait, what? I think that's true, is it? Why would Twitch get a percentage of that? Why would Twitch get a percentage of that? It doesn't make any sense. Amazon fucking take all that cash, don't they? Unless I'm missing something, I don't see any reason why Twitch will get a kickback. And yeah, that's the other, yeah, exactly. IVS is not a white label streaming site either, okay? IVS is the technology that allows you to run a streaming website. It's the technology. It's not a fucking white label site. Like, you know, you've got to still build your own front end for it and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't understand why Twitch will get any money out of that. Amazon owns that product now to sell.
That's crazy. I hope you get clipped and you're up on Dexerto and people are shitting on you for that take.
Well, okay. First of all, Pokey, I think that if there's one person who can shit on fucking Dexerto all day, every day, I'm getting cooked nonstop. That's not even. I do know that you do get shit on unjustifiably on a lot of stuff, but trust me, I'm getting clapped up all the time on that.
No. Pokey's take wasn't that at all. Pokey's take was that when Amazon make money through IVS, Twitch make money, and she also made the absurd claim. Right? And she also made, I mean, she didn't even include Amazon. She said it was Twitch, which is totally bullshit. She even made the absurd claim that Twitch have got any sort of power or ability to, like, cut off Kick's access to IVS, which is the most insane concept ever, because it would be Amazon switching off good business for no good reason. Amazon have dealt, I'm fairly certain, doesn't IVS power Netflix? Is that right? Or in any case, I'm pretty sure that there's streaming websites that use IVS that are like a competitor to Amazon Prime. So it's like they don't fucking care about having a competitor if they're paying the money for the service, because yeah, of course, you know. So yeah, it's just really dumb to me. Wait, the only reason I don't know how I'd find that information. Yeah, and that's the other point as well. That's the other point too, is if they were to cut off access, that could I mean, I don't know the law and stuff. Maybe it might create some sort of issue of like anti-competitive, antitrust stuff. I don't fucking know about that, but that could be a possibility. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't, yeah, I mean, this is more about the AWS stuff, right? But like Netflix uses Amazon's product to provide its service, and that's a competitor to Prime Video. So the point is yeah, they're not, you know, the only possible reason that Amazon would cut off access if there was some sort of like serious breach of contract. And the one thing that I think Kick could be at risk of is they break some rule that, because remember Parler? Do you remember Parler, right? People kicked off and were like, oh my God, Parler is being shut down by these other companies. This is exactly what big tech are doing. They say build your own website, but when you do, they shut you down anyway, right? Parler was not moderating illegal content on their fucking website. Like, there was content which was like, you know, not even protected by the First Amendment. It was like threats and violence and shit like that. Like, yeah, obviously, if you don't remove illegal content, you're running yourself at risk of getting shut down by Amazon Web Services, right? Getting shut down on Amazon Web Services, you need to be pretty fucking severe in the things that you're breaching in order to do that, right? And normally it involves like illegal content, okay? So, you know, when it comes to something like Kick, there are risk factors there where if they're publicizing illegal content, they could have the sort of, you know, the fucking hammer dropped on them. And I think maybe stuff like DMCA, they need to be kept. Like DMCA is probably the biggest risk that Kick have got at the moment, because for whatever reason, they're not getting really called on it that much. Hopefully they do manage it when they do, but they've really got to start to crack down on these streamers that are broadcasting movies. Best thing for them to do would be to just message the streamer and be like, stop watching fucking copyright content on stream. You're going to totally fuck us in the ass. Because once the big boys start sniffing around, that's when you really start to get fucked on that stuff.
From what I've been told by many Twitter users, you know, there's no relationship or benefit to Twitch for the fact that, you know, Kick is using Amazon services.
Well, I think it's kind of irrelevant. I think it's kind of like flexing daddy's money, but that was my argument on that one.
Oh, that's actually a good take. So that was an interesting one, at least. You said it's like flexing daddy's money. I don't really understand that, because like I probably have shit on Amazon, the parent company of Twitch, more than you have. I mean, we've had fucking conversations where I've shit on Amazon. I am the single largest human donator to the Amazon labor union, which Jeff Bezos is openly antagonistic towards. I'm not exactly fond of Amazon. As a matter of fact, I've mentioned that when we were talking about how like Kick is basically single-handedly kept alive by Stake, I talked about how Amazon's hands are not necessarily clean either. I don't know why you thought that was like defending daddy's money.
Your warning is a little soft on the Amazon part. Okay, let's use actual adult words. Okay, yeah. Twitch is maintained by the inhumane practices and actual life squeezing sweatshop-like conditions of employees. Okay, continue.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I mean, if you're gonna use the harsh wording for Kick, use the same harsh wording for Twitch.
Base.
I have. You're literally repeating something I said. Yeah, but maybe you didn't hear me say it, but I have said that exact same thing.
Yeah, but just now you didn't. I'm just saying,
Yeah. I'm not saying that like Amazon is infallible. I've never said that. As a matter of fact, I want to fix Amazon's labor practices. It's probably never gonna happen. Let's be fucking real. But I'm perfectly aware of that. Okay.
Maybe
I think that's bullshit.
Donate.
I think that's bullshit for the record. I've heard you literally defend sweatshops against Moist Critical, so I don't know what your take is on that matter. But
listen, I gotta be honest with you, okay? I know that it's a valid point to make as a criticism of, but I will say this, okay? I will say this: sat here in my gaming chair watching a video, okay, making some money. I will say this: Amazon workers need to stop fucking complaining, okay? Amazon workers need to shut the fuck up, okay? Box my package that I've just ordered and get it to me tomorrow, okay? I'm sick of their belly aching. You get decent paycheck. Don't they get like $15 an hour in America? And then in the UK, I think it's like above minimum wage too. Stop fucking belly aching, okay? Forget your union. Why spend money on union fees when you can buy a nice new PlayStation 5 instead, okay? Go and buy a PlayStation 5, right? Go and package up my fucking energy drinks that have just been ordered, stick it in a box, and send it to me. Thank you very much. Enough complaining from you.
Yeah, you and I have a difference in opinion on that, but
that's decent to you, $15 an hour. I mean, not to me personally, but it's a decent wage. Like, if someone has got no fucking skills and they're looking for a job in the labor market, $15 an hour is like a decent living, yeah. If you've got literally no fucking sellable skills and all you can do is fucking, they want an Xbox Series S. There it is. Put it in a box, label it, right, off you go. Yeah, that's pretty decent, no? Fucking $15 an hour to stick shit in a box. Yeah, fucking let's go. I don't know what to tell you.
But overall, that doesn't change the reality with Kick's funding mechanism being Stake, and Stake being a marketing arm, in my opinion, Kick being a marketing arm, in my opinion, directly to funnel more.
No, if it was $15 an hour to work in an Amazon warehouse versus a fast food restaurant, I'd much prefer working in a fucking Amazon warehouse. You don't have to deal with customers face to face. You serious? Oh my god, one of the worst things about working retail is having to deal face to face with customers. Fuck that. At least you can just sit and you can put your headphones in. You got fucking a list of shit to do. Boom, 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 and then you go home. Lovely.
Active users onto stake.com.
Thank you. I understand if you maybe want to compare the two, but I don't even think they're comparable.
What do you mean?
How direct streaming and
so you get healthcare as well working for Amazon.
Working with Kick, who's entirely funded by Stake, versus streaming on Twitch, who is owned by Amazon.
I mean, you're always gonna
obviously.
I mean, it's by proximity. At least initially, you're always gonna have a close proximity. That's like fucking. That's like your family. You're always in some business like farming, and then the fucking like their kid does something around the idea of farming. When it's in close proximity, of course, like it'll be like that initially, right? But as it expands, making conclusions about where it's going and where it's gonna be, right? By ratio, and saying,
wait, how did we make conclusions about where it's going and where it's gonna be?
Wait, that's the whole basis of the conversation. The argument is that it is made to fund gambling, and it is made and it is an effort.
Okay, sorry, I'm gonna elaborate on that more as well. Okay, I'm gonna elaborate more, right? So, if you don't have skills and all you've got available is a minimum wage job, okay, right? The reality is, if you want to change that, or if you're like, I can only work at Amazon with my skills, you're gonna have to do something to upskill yourself to move forward, right? Like when I worked in retail, I did an MVQ in sales so that I could progress and become like a manager and progress forward. And I studied at home. At home, I was fucking studying for my NVQ, which is like a vocational training education thing, so that I had something to offer on a CV. So when I applied for a job, I had a little, back pocket situation of, I've also got a qualification in sales. So, as someone who's done it, if you want to get a better job and you don't like working in an Amazon warehouse, you got to fucking upskill yourself so you can take that next step. Like, it's just the way of the world, unfortunately. I know it sounds harsh and I'm just sat in my gaming chair saying that. But yeah, I've done it. I fucking sat there, at home of an evening, fucking working on my MVQ because I want to get a qualification so that I can progress forward.
To reignite fucking casino shit so they can remake some of the money on the platform. That is you've just said that. Like you guys.
So you don't think?
I think that's a return on their investment. Yes, that's the reason why they're investing so heavily.
I disagree in ridiculous capacity. Yeah, I disagree with that 100%.
Well, you have more insider information than we do, so yeah. I would love to hear your perspective on it. I might not agree with it, but
what do you think? Insider information, but X, don't you also think? Obviously, Kick wanted to sign you, so obviously they're probably going to tell you whatever you want to hear.
Wait, what? If I had the idea, they want things to be about Gamba. They were talking about Gamba. Gamba's not my contract. I just told you. Gambling was never even in any talks of any kind. Not even a slight part of it.
I feel like it's a little bit disingenuous to pretend that they don't care about Gamba, or that that's not a prioritization on the streaming platform that they created because they saw how profitable gambling streams were.
That's how it felt to me in terms of I saw the roadmap and I'm building the roadmap, right? Everybody that is going to come up this month, it's going to be massive this month. I'm not trying to be oh god, it's going to be crazy. No, this month is going to be absolutely unhinged. And most of the guys that are signed have been not only none of them Gamba, they're all anti-Gamba, right? And they're sold the same impression.
Owners of Kick and Stake are probably hoping that those viewers end up also seeing the gambling categories, get curious.
So now, not only are we doing speculation, you're literally talking for the owners and you're making outlandish assumptions.
We are speculating, and I think this is a reasonable, educated guess to make.
Yeah.
Given how
I'm not speaking for them or saying I heard this. I'm saying that's my theory, and I'm sure it's many people's theory.
And will you revert when things flip on the other side, or you can do that like all the time and just ignore it and just say
no? Because ultimately, even if they
they're not even trying to profit off of their streamers. Where do you think the money's going to come from?
Do you know something called tech? You know what tech is? Tech overall,
technology.
Just the whole sector.
So I think, whilst it's true, I don't know what this take is. Whilst it's true that obviously, as I said, gambling streams on Kick are going to lead people to go and gamble. That is just putting money in Stake's pocket. They're also going to probably want to branch out and try and develop kickers at a profitability in itself. And I'm fairly certain that they're looking to run ads. Like, obviously, they're looking at hourly rates for streamers. Ads eventually are going to be part of the equation too. So I think that people are kind of missing that piece of the puzzle where certainly there is, as I say, yes, it's not completely divided, no gamble whatsoever consideration. But when they're going to want to run ads, they're going to have to be very careful to disassociate the gambling stuff even further, because some advertisers are not going to want to be associated with gamba shit.
Of tech, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I don't want to be patronizing it. Why are you so worried about profitability when none of this shit is profitable? None of it is.
Because that's what we're discussing. We had the initial point that Kick is probably hoping to Stake is hoping to profit off of Kick as a marketing tool primarily for their crypto gambling website.
So you don't think that there's a chance that possibly on the roadmap, the point is to sign and clean the product up, to move away from gambling, to make a strong competitor that's all that streaming, dominate the market, and then have profitable endeavors and arouse profitability and get there somehow, right? You don't think that's a possibility? You're completely hashing that out.
So that's it. You bring up a really good point.
It can be a possibility, but it doesn't change its origins or where it's at right now.
Oh, so you're gonna discredit where it's going and what's about because of where the money.
Hold on. Wait, can I just cut in here?
Two things was just why I personally wouldn't align with it.
Okay, let me just cut in here really quickly.
I can't tell the future.
Sorry, okay, Felix, you're saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, are you saying that the reason why Stake is investing heavily into Kick is because they want to build up a competitive live streaming platform, not to market Stake or anything like that, but instead to become a primary force in the live streaming space on its own, with no genuine interest in like driving traffic to stake.com. And they're doing it in a way where they are like unimaginably unprofitable.
Yep.
While simultaneously giving Amazon money, like giving Amazon direct money in the form of both AWS and IVS, which is a is a copy paste of.
The other thing that these big streamers don't seem to grasp is like, listen, Stake is a very fucking profitable entity. Okay, Gamba is, for some reason, gambling is super fucking profitable. I don't know why. I don't know what. Your guess is as good as mine as to where that money's coming from. But in all seriousness, right, Stake is obviously very profitable because gambling's very profitable. It's fucking money for old rope a lot of the time. Like, as in, like, you know, people are fucking pumping money into it, right? Okay. What, like, running a live streaming site where anyone in the world can access a broadcast by clicking the link is fucking expensive, okay? Stake have got a lot of fucking excess money, probably from Gamba stuff. Apparently they got wealthy investors backing them too and all this shit, right? What other company is going to be able to set up a fucking live streaming site? Like, one of the reasons that Kick are doing it is, yeah, sure, they want to have this gambling aspect through the gambling issues, but also it's because they can. It's because they're one of the only entities that's going to be able to do this. It's because they can. There's not many other companies. Rumble has like struggled fucking getting investment and pushing, and eventually they're going to. But you know, they've built their own fucking infrastructure. And they've done it off the back of like their kind of profession of like freedom of speech. And I know they've got like rightoid backers. I think, is it Thiel? Thiel guy, I think, is an investor. But yeah. The two biggest streaming sites are owned by Google and Amazon. Yeah, exactly my point. That's exactly my point. Massive fucking businesses that have got shitloads of fucking cash, okay? Twitch was first to market, so it was able to sort of build something out of nothing. But like, yeah, like now, Twitch, Google, look at all the sites that have come and gone. Do you know what I looked at earlier? DLive. I looked at fucking DLive earlier, right? Something that was set up as an alternative. And funnily enough, the only stream that I saw that had any decent viewership was an 1,000 viewer stream and it was, you guessed it, a gambling stream. You know? But, you know, these competitors have really struggled. And do you know what I thought about? Who knows Trovo? Wait, who knows fucking Trovo? Who knows Trovo? Oh my God. Fucking Trovo. God, imagine if you're the CEO of Trovo, man. Imagine if you're the CEO of Trovo just sitting there watching. You've been struggling away trying to get somewhere with your fucking shitty streaming platform, right? And then fucking Rumble starts ramping up and you're like, oh shit. And then fucking Stake come in, they're like, Kick, boom. And it's like, oh man. Oh my God. Imagine being a Trovo streamer. If I was on Trovo, man, I'd be straight on the Kick. Instantaneously. Yeah, Microsoft gave it a go, and they failed because, from what I could understand, from everything I've read and heard about it, they just didn't understand the kind of community aspect. They just tried to get big streamers across, and they thought that would work. It took forever to get something made, for a decision to be made, to get something changed. Massive bureaucracy in Microsoft. You know, the executives that were put in charge of Mixer just didn't really understand what to do or how to do it. You know, obviously expertise in running a big tech company A doesn't naturally equate to expertise in running big tech company B if the reasoning for the success in that area is like totally different to that, you know? So, yeah. Anyway.
Of Twitch is like Twitch reskin basically.
Yep.
And they're doing this because ultimately they want to take down Amazon's live streaming market share and become the main monopoly force in the live streaming space.
Yep, that's right.
Okay. So Amazon owns AWS, right? As you know. And Amazon still is having a hard time, according to Amazon at least, creating a profitable space for Twitch, despite the fact that they have already monopolized the marketplace of live streaming.
Right.
Do you think that Stake, which pays Amazon to even do live web hosting, would be able to ever reasonably become the monopoly force in the live streaming space?
So when you talk like that, you make assumptions, right? One of these assumptions is super important.
No. I'm asking you a question.
Wait, hang on a minute. Wait. Twitch was successful because they were the first to market with live streaming, and they've been reliant on that for a long time. Obviously, Amazon came along and purchased them for IVS, which was then, an absolute flood of money into Twitch. But Twitch has basically like rested on its laurels, and they've kind of like not really moved fast enough with some of the changes. And now they're in a position where they're desperately trying to like turn a profitable business, and they're doing it through ways which unfortunately aren't really conducive to like satisfying end consumers necessarily. Like the ad thing. The reason that Twitch have gone heavy on ads is because that's what they fucking see as the way to, turn a profit on Twitch. But then it's bad for the end user. It's bad for the fucking end user because they have to watch a fucking shitload of ads on most streams now because streamers are running ads because streamers are getting a good deal on running ads. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not obviously an expert on the ins and outs of it, but just the basic stuff that I see, it's pretty clear that Twitch are. And the other thing as well is obviously they're looking at it from a perspective of stripping money back from streamers in order to try and retain the money for themselves for the profit aspect. Like, for example, when they reduced the split on high tier contracts back to 50%. And what was the other thing? What was the other thing people were pissed off about?
This is not an assumption. I made zero assumptions here. I'm operating off of what you told me.
Yes, you're also making the assumption that there's going to be no alternative. The technology is not going to change. It's always going to remain the way that it is
Sponsorship
right now.
stuff, yeah.
Right? That's the assumption you're making, correct? That AWS, AWS is the only thing and will always remain. It's always going to be like that. You're making the assumption by default that this is set in stone and will never change. The technology is just stopped improving on that, right?
No, I'm not making that assumption at all.
You kind of are by default. You are by default.
That you need physical servers to be able to operate a website. Live web hosting is expensive, like really expensive.
Yeah.
So expensive that the actual dominant force in the web service, the web hosting side of things, is having a hard time making their live streaming company, which already holds monopoly market share in the live streaming marketplace, profitable. The notion that Stake would become a competitive player while utilizing Amazon services and paying them literally a profitable amount to be able to to do this web hosting, which is part of the reason why, like, when you joined the website, it fell apart a little bit because like they didn't even have the bandwidth to do so. So they had to probably increase their bandwidth. Like they had to go back to Amazon and ask for more.
Your expertise on server capacity and initial releases and whatnot is very limited.
Anyway,
and when you talk about this shit, it falls on deaf ears. Okay.
I don't know if I'm going to watch this whole thing. It's like 2.5 hours, and I've been watching this for quite a while anyway. I'll probably watch for like another 20 minutes, and then we'll move on to. I'm going to talk about the Adriana Lee and OTK legal case.
Releases and day one stuff is always bound to drive more traffic. The same way that Blizzard, an industry leader in gaming, cannot have a stable release on day one. It's just too much. And that is to be expected.
You can't seriously be comparing yourself live streaming on a website, which you can do on every other website perfectly fine, to Blizzard releasing a game to an entire marketplace for the first, like Diablo launch is not comparable to you live streaming on Twitch.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this earlier, and maybe this is just the looping beginning, but there's competitors to Amazon services that use AWS and use IVS as well. So I just don't really see how this is like a thing.
Versus live streaming on Kick. The reason why I'm mentioning this is because, yes, you're right, Activision Blizzard fucks up regularly with their services, but those services on release day are fucking, like, they have significantly more active users than you going from one website to the next. For example, here, I'll ask you a question. If you tomorrow decided to go to YouTube, let's say you got a contract at YouTube, it was a massive deal, and you moved over to YouTube and you live streamed for the first time, do you think you'd be able to effectively crash YouTube?
No.
Right? You wouldn't be able to crash YouTube, right?
No, let me talk about that. Your knowledge of this is so limited. Since you went anecdotal.
Okay. I mean, that is true. I mean, is he making a criticism of Kick? Of Kick's like obviously Kick has got technical problems and isn't able at the moment to sustain the view, like XQC stream like crashed, didn't it? Like I saw the chat thing like just going crazy. But then that is more indicative of the fact that Kick has still got like a lot of technical bugs and issues to iron out. Amazon is the server host though. Yeah, but the problem that Kick had wasn't as a result of Amazon servers. It was as a result of Kick's, you know, front end shit, right? But then obviously that's just what is it called? Like you know, new thing, ironing stuff out, like ironing out the kinks. Yeah. So they obviously need to do some work to fix some of the issues that are becoming apparent because now they're trying to take on these big streamers and their website is not able to cope with the. I mean, I'm not a fucking developer or you know tech guy like that, so I don't know exactly the ins and outs of it. But very simply, okay, Kick small now. Kick get big streamer. Kick not cope. Kick have problems. Okay, that's basically it. Okay. But then over time, you would hope that they're going to be able to. I mean, I think they had some downtime recently to like work on some aspect of what was going on, right?
Totally about this. Actually, I want to use an example that happened. Yeah. Only a couple months ago. The Squid Games event with all the YouTubers and streamers that we did on Twitch. What happened on that day? Twitch crashed, right?
Yeah, exactly. Your point about AWS and the fact they are considered a backbone is important. I agree with you that I'm making an important point. That's very true. Hasan and Pokey trying to delevel AWS to making personal decisions based on preference is actually absurd. It is totally fucking absurd. It is insane. The kinds of people that are dealing with the AWS stuff, okay, their concern is getting fucking AWS out the door and, you know, like they don't give it. They're not. Then if you're there working for AWS, trying to fucking get it out there and make it the backbone of the internet, you're not going to be there going, well, hang on a sec. We need to think about whether this particular website that's asking for the service is a competitor with another part of the business. Oh, actually they are. So we're going to, you know, that's just stupid. It doesn't make any fucking sense. It's like AT&T cutting off a business from the internet backbone network they run throughout the United States. It's not how things work. Exactly.
Drive in comparison, these things happen. And that's the same thing.
It does.
That's the same for ratio for Kick.
Now we're comparing 10 to 1,000. You know what I mean? That's the difference.
Not true.
Because
not true.
The reason why I already understand that. I'm accounting for you going from one live streaming platform to another competent live streaming platform versus one live streaming platform that is like very clearly not ready for the rate limit.
Oh, yeah, that's another point. Somewhat. I mean, like I say, okay. I'm a fucking retard, okay? I don't know about the tech stuff exactly, but I would guess that Kick have probably got some contract with AWS, with Amazon for the AWS and IVS services, and there probably is some level of capacity that's agreed to somewhere, right? So there's probably something where it's like you're entitled to a certain amount of gigabits somewhere, okay? And all these decisions are increasing the amount of gigabits they have to use. And so, because they don't have the capacity agreed, it's causing issues. But then Kick can go back and go, oh, can we have some more gigabits, please? And they're going to go, yep, no problem. Here you go. Here's the increased rate for the gigabits. Yeah? Right? Like, I've put it simply in my own retarded terms, but that's kind of like an aspect to this too, right? Gigabits. But you know, but then the thing is, like I say, that's not a problem with Amazon services. That's obviously something to do with either Kick's website or the agreement they've got not having enough gigabits in the plan, right? Something like that. I don't fucking know. Do you know what point I'm trying to get across though? The point is Kick, you know, are small, they've got issues tech based because of their small size, not a fundamental issue because of what Kick is. It's not fundamental, it's something they can fix over time.
Has there ever been a large streamer who went from one platform to another and their first stream crashed said platform?
Wait. There's been brawlers on Twitch done that crash website. Yes.
There's been what?
There's been legends on Twitch that have crashed website.
No, yes, but I mean, right? And Hasan is saying those are at a different magnitude. So perhaps instead we.
So the goalpost moving from is it possible to how big of a drive it is? Like this argument is not. We're not winning this argument. We went from the size of YouTube to the size of Twitch.
Websites you can go to tomorrow and not crash them.
Wait. Kick by
You can go to
market share.
Facebook. It wouldn't crash Facebook. You
Yeah.
would probably crash.
I just don't. Why are we comparing fucking massive fucking big tech conglomerates that have been operating for like a decade with fucking Kick, which has only just started? Like, yeah, obviously Facebook is like fucking got its whole entire infrastructure, like they've built for years to where they are. If you compared, you know, what is it, like a year, Facebook after a year. Compared to like it was fucking sucked. Loads of fucking technical problems. Obviously, it's not really fair to compare massive big tech conglomerates to fucking Kick, which has literally just started like a year ago.
Twitter because they're also not ready for the bandwidth and not ready to like do massive video.
Wait, what's this?
Wait. Kick by
You can go to
market share.
Facebook. It wouldn't crash Facebook. You
Yeah.
would probably crash Twitter because they're also not ready for the bandwidth and not ready to like do massive video live.
know
Yeah,
at
Kick
this
is
point
smaller.
really proves or
Wait, bro,
doesn't
bro.
prove,
Kick,
to be honest. I don't think
Kick
it's
is small.
Well, the problem with Twitter is obviously Elon Musk is pushing them into new directions that Twitter has never really done before. So there's obviously going to be issues there, but that's as a result of them pivoting to new types of content that they don't really have the capability for. They've never done before. Like the what is it? The Twitter Spaces thing is a great example of that, where they tried to do the Twitter Space thing and it totally fucked up because whatever the fucking background shit, they didn't have the gigabits for that. Okay, they didn't have the fucking gigabits for that. So I just, you know, I feel like talking about like Facebook is insane to me. Like, of course Facebook is going to be able to weather shit because they've spent a decade building all their shit up. Fucking Facebook used to be a website between colleges where you could talk to each other and shit. And, you know, it's grown massively since then.
That's wonderful.
It's fucking meta. There's like a fucking conglomerate going on now.
Tech illiterate people talking about tech. Let me find.
Thank you for the 420. Listen, if you want to talk to an expert, I'll tell you what's what. And I'll tell you how many gigabits they need, okay?
Or what about it? Like, what? I don't know what you guys.
Yes.
That's
The
all
reason
you're
why I
saying.
mentioned
they
that.
can't handle it.
They
The
just,
reason why
they
I mentioned
adjusted
that
the
wasn't
bandwidth.
to. The reason why I mentioned that was to tell you that like Kick itself still had to go to Amazon that day and ask for more bandwidth so that they could handle one singular Twitch streamer moving onto their website with a real audience, unlike Aiden Ross,
Daddy
by the way,
Amazon,
which
please.
never crashed the website for the record.
Oh, he did. But yeah, he did.
But wait, okay. But also, I'm fairly certain as well, though. I don't know what the point is. Like, yeah, obviously, if Kick have got an agreement with Amazon for a certain amount of bandwidth or whatever, and then it massively increases, and yeah, that's going to be a problem for a small website that doesn't have its own service, right? Doesn't have its own back end shit, right? Like, listen, I'm not a technical guy, but I know what Hasan saying is retarded. Okay, that's what I'm trying to get across. All right. Also, yeah. I'm pretty sure that Aiden Ross is coming over have some problems too. I'm pretty sure that when Aiden Ross came over, Kick had issues as well. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really understand what the point being made here is. Like, Kick is having problems when they try and scale up quickly. Yeah. Obviously, a big tech company, a tech company that especially with live streaming, is going to have problems if they have a massive spurt in users. Like they've been, I don't know how true this is, right? Obviously, Kick have been touting all these signups. Yeah, that's going to put pressure on their whatever their shit is. I don't know. Anyway,
Okay.
you get the point.
Okay, let's
Regardless-
dial back a little bit.
Yeah.
No, he did. Okay. Kick is
So X,
smaller.
to your
God,
point-
no. You guys overshot something very important. What you're saying is that the technology won't change. No progress will be made, and there isn't a point where there's a possibility that there's an audience flip and a market share change that's significant enough.
Dude, you're
Where-
the one.
Kick clearly needs to listen to Hasan and download more RAM if the website crashes.
Very true, Duke. Thank you for the 420.
We never said that. We're talking about Kick
See,
now and where it's come from.
that's waffling. That's waffling. This is a classic waffling. You're implying something, but you're implying something. You're implying something by default, and then you back away from it once you've made the argument and you've tried it. So like, if you want to stop making these arguments and stop doing it by default, then we can do that. But otherwise, you guys are you're making an assumption by default. And when you're called out on it, say, well, I didn't imply that. What kind of argument? What kind of strategy is
If we're
that?
making any
I can make an
assumptions,
assumption. I
it's
can't speak
about
for
Kick
Pokey.
right now, not Kick 2 years from now.
Huh?
I think Pokey and I are talking about entirely different things. XQC, you are right to a certain degree if you're addressing me. I am speculating, and I do not believe that Kick is in it to destroy the market share of Twitch. And the reason why I think that that is not a realistic possibility for them is because they are working with Amazon to maintain their platform. If they move away from Amazon, they have to go to Microsoft or Google. Those are the two other major players in the marketplace with respect to live web hosting.
Makes sense.
Amazon is the dominant force in AWS. With AWS, it's like basically the backbone of the entire internet. The government uses AWS. You know what I mean?
Right. So,
Well, I don't understand. Okay, what relevance is this to anything? What's his argument that like Amazon are never going to let Kick grow to a level that they wouldn't want that would surpass Twitch because they've got AWS? Like, the more that Kick grows, the better it is for Amazon because they're going to make more and more and more money as the gigabits they're using increase, right? I'm getting that right, aren't I, by the way? I know I'm fucking around with the gigabits thing. But I would imagine that they would make more money out of Kick as they require more usage of their services, surely. And yeah, also the other thing too, because if AWS is as dominant as, well, it is dominant, but like even in the own argument, if you're saying AWS is the backbone of the internet, if Amazon were to cut off Kick, because they're a competitor of Twitch, then that would potentially be something that they could take Amazon to court for because they're taking advantage of their dominance in the industry. And this has been something that's been seen in court before. Like, weren't Microsoft massively fucked on the browser stuff because they were trying to force people like to move towards, at the time, Internet Explorer, right? So it's a similar concept that like, just because Amazon is AWS is the backbone of the internet doesn't mean Amazon can weaponize that against competitors to like Twitch. That would be very bad, I would have thought.
So these things, are they set in stone permanently?
No, they're not. I'm saying,
I don't know for sure.
I'm building towards an argument here. Okay, fair enough. So these things aren't permanent, right? There is progress to get people over to Kick a platform and to progress to try to get.
Also, sorry, one more point as well is regardless of anything else, we're going to be talking about big fucking ticket contracts between big companies, right? And I'm fairly certain that, you know, if Amazon were to like cut off Kick, they would need to have a very good reason to do it, because if they're cutting them off and it's outside of the terms of their contract, then Kick could potentially take them to like court over the fact that they've ended the contract in unfair reasons, right?
Welcome to Chud Nation.
So Amazon can't just go, oh, we don't, you're getting too big for your boots. This is like big fucking ticket contracts agreed between massive legal entities, okay? This is shit that both fucking sides are going to be looking over with a fine-tooth comb. And if one party ended it without good reason, there'd be massive corporate lawyer battles. The scale of it is fucking insane. Anyway, thank you very much for the sub. Appreciate it. Keep them coming. Let's get the bars filled today. Let's go. No game shilling, purely money shilling, okay?
A bigger market share. Do you think there's even a possibility that there is another way to do it, another service, whatever, by the time that the audience flips, right, to make the product actually successful or not?
Make the product actually profitable?
Or successful to the point where things flip entirely, yeah.
If Amazon, which owns AWS, can't make Twitch live streaming profitable, then a company that's coming and getting outside rates is never going to be able to make live streaming profitable unless their profit mechanism.
I think X is trying to say or make the assumption that Stake is going to replace AWS with better technology once they get large enough, you know, and then they will detach from their relationship or need for any Amazon services. Is this likely? I don't fucking know.
No,
Surely
I don't think
not anytime soon.
Thank you.
I don't think it's likely. As much as I know, like, I do have limited knowledge in this space, but at least I know a little bit to tell you that, no, I don't believe that the tremendous amount of overhead and the tremendous amount of...
hang on a sec. If Amazon genuinely felt like it wasn't profitable, it wasn't possible to make Twitch profitable at this point, why wouldn't they just cut them off? Like, they've just cut 400 jobs. Like, obviously, Amazon, like, why wouldn't they try and sell them or make any effort to ditch them in any way? Like, they must believe there's a way to make it profitable. Otherwise, they wouldn't be like cutting jobs, increasing ads, trying to put in place limits on sponsorships that they did, which they walked back. You know, I don't know, man. Like, I'm pretty sure that Amazon sees some route to make Twitch profitable, which is why they're putting in place measures to try and make that happen. Yeah, exactly. They just cut 400 fucking workers. What do you think they did that for? For the fun of it? No, because they're like, shit, we need to cut back to try and make this shit profitable.
Infrastructural spending necessary to become a dominant force in live web hosting can only be done by, like, basically the multi-billion-dollar companies that have been established in the space and have gotten government contracts for a very long period of time.
Sorry, the other thing people miss the point of the sponsorship thing that they did, right? The reason that Twitch were trying to so aggressively cut out like burnt-in ads and stuff like that is one of the routes that Twitch want to utilize to be profitable is to try and put themselves in as the middleman between streamers and sponsors and cut the agency out of the picture, okay? It's why they had these trials recently, or these things recently they were doing, where companies could get like tickets to sub to streamers as rewards for like sponsorship offers. Like, Twitch are trying to find routes and means to put themselves in to get a cut of the deal between Devin Nash speaks about it and has got a lot more knowledge about this because he runs a fucking agency. But that's why Twitch are being so aggressive about it, because they want to try and insert themselves. Unfortunately, it pissed off the wrong people, so they had to pull back on it. But make no mistake, at some point in the future, you're going to have some sort of system where you can run a sponsorship via Twitch and they'll present offers to you and you'll be rewarded for it and they'll take a cut at the start, and they might take a cut from the payment that you get because it will be paid via subs.
I do not think that Stake has the capacity, even though they do have a relatively low overhead, and they are basically a fucking money printer because, you know, that is the reality. They're like pretty much $2.6 billion in straight profit. You know what I mean? I think they make like what, 2.8 billion? Stake generates a revenue, like gross revenue of $2.8 billion a year or something like that.
All right,
I do think that they probably are currently basically printing money. And they do have low overhead, so they have a lot of money that they can spend for marketing initiatives to continue expanding and to continue growing Stake. But even then, I do not think that they have enough to build these servers. I'll give you an example. When Amazon first started implementing their AWS initiatives, the amount of information that they had to send to servers were so vast before they laid fucking cables. They would send server trucks to each individual location to upload it to their hard drives on trucks. They're like, this is an incredibly expensive operation to get started on, which is part of the reason why I would go so far as say it's an industry with a natural barrier of entry. It's an industry that is prone to monopolization.
And you just said, yeah, of course. And you just said that they print money, and you don't think that they're a possible candidate to achieve.
I mean, that was probably like fucking a couple of decades ago, right? Wasn't that like in a dial-up era? Like, things have changed a bit since then, no?
That task. If anybody can do it, it's them, and you agree with that by default. You can't back away from that argument.
Yeah, and also, like, bear in mind, Rumble has built its own infrastructure. Rumble has got its own fucking infrastructure that it operates off of. It's why they're able to be a bit dicier. The only reason, so for example, Kick recently had to put in place something, right? They had to put in place some rule because, what was it? I can't remember what it was. I'm watching Chud stream by UPS delivered AVIs on thumb drives. I don't know. I was just thinking maybe they do. But in any case, Rumble has got but they don't rely on, what is it? They don't, no. They don't rely on they've got their own video delivery service. They've got their own video delivery service, right? But then the server stuff, do they have their own server? Do they have their own like data? Yeah, content delivery network. Yes. They got their own content delivery network. But Rumble, I don't know how Rumble works, to be clear. Do they have their own data center? Is that what it is? Well, I don't fucking know these terms, but you know what I'm trying to say. Yes. Okay. Is that the right word? They've got their own gigabit. They've got their own gigabit house. They've got their own gigabit hub. So the point is that Rumble have got a lot more flexibility because they've invested in their own infrastructure. Okay, obviously, Kick, because they're going to have their own issues, but it's, you know, it's just like any other service that uses Amazon back-end product shit, they could potentially do really well out of it too. Oh my God, I don't know the technology stuff, but I know a little bit, enough to know that they're retarded, okay? That's what I'm trying to get across. But then Rumble has been able to attract insane levels of investment because they've been able to push themselves as the right-wing alternative. So you think about it, right? You're a fucking investor with some tendencies to the right, and a platform says, we're free speech and we're building our own shit. You're going to be like, yeah, let's fucking do it. Let's go.
No, I don't believe that it's likely.
You inherently agree with the fact that if somebody can do it, it's somebody who has a lot of money and would actually take on the fucking the big fight, the Titan, and that would be your candidate, and you're going to disagree with that.
Yeah, I just don't think that they're going to do it because, once again, Microsoft has established live web hosting services. Microsoft did the Mixer thing while they already had the pre-existing servers, and yet they still were incapable of competing against Amazon and Twitch, and they quickly dropped it.
The product
now, there is a big difference here. Steak doesn't have
But wait, but that's because of bad management as well, though. That's because the product wasn't that great. It's because of bad management. It's because they made decisions. So basically, one of the aspects, for example, is Microsoft thought they could cut corners in terms of building a community. They thought that what they'd be able to do is bring across like Ninja, and there we go, pay $20 million to Ninja, and we'll have people there. I used to use Mixer. I used to stream on Mixer before I was a proper streamer here. I used to stream on Mixer. It fucking sucked. And it was badly managed. And yeah, it was like if you wanted to make a I'm watching Overworld World Cup. Can you wrap it up? I'm gonna wrap it up soon, okay? I'm gonna talk about this for 5 more minutes and then I'm done. But yeah, like it was like death by bureaucracy. It was death by bureaucracy. Because the people, from my understanding of watching videos about it, they put people in place that didn't know how to like run a live streaming service site. It was just like, oh, you've got experience in tech, right? Oh, we'll put you in charge of this fucking division here. And then it's like they got no clue how to build a community and build a yeah. And this is one of the big problems is a lot of these competitors like DLive have just not invested and put time into actually building a community. And they've just been the graveyard for banned streamers from other places. And this is why Rumble was so smart to move away from that. And they have, to a degree, moved away from that. There's still that hangs on them a bit, but they've made an effort to try and move past the banned and actually try and build a community. And obviously Kick are trying desperately to do the same thing too. And they are obviously bringing across a multitude of streamers. Like, for example, the fact that they're bringing across Aiden Ross, XQC, and Amaranth. Like, those are three pretty... There's a bit of crossover between XQC and Aiden Ross, but those are three fairly disparate communities that are coming across to Kick now. So that's going to create like more of a community and more of a blend that then maybe is going to bleed off into other streamers. Whereas with Mixer, they just thought, oh, we'll bring Ninja across and that'll do. And then it just like, it didn't really work. And there wasn't the community and there wasn't the culture. Anyway. I don't know why, I don't know why people are glazing Amazon so hard. It's kind of stupid. Yeah, Bruce, drop him off as well. I mean, you know, Jesus. There's crazy shit going on. Ninja was streaming on there the other day. Funnily enough, obviously, you know, we just said about the Mixer thing, but... Canute? Is Canute going to Kick? No way. Kick is 100% funded a stake. If you think otherwise, you're mentally remedial. Yes, I understand that you've got your take from your favorite bigger streamer and now you're just repeating it. I understand you can't think for yourself, but that's okay. No, I think I'm done with this, honestly. I don't really have anything else to say about this. We're just looping on points at this point.